Hello, Whiteboarders. My name is Jesse Meekum from You Need a Budget. Yes, you do. And this is another Whiteboard Wednesday where today we depart from the topic of budgeting and talk about the topic of doing. I present to you a fairly normal to-do list, and we'll get to how this ties in. A to-do list might look like this, right? I got to pick up some eggs. I got to pick up some milk. I got to pick up some shallots. I got to Google shallots and figure out exactly what they are. And then you have this fourth one. Start on a lifelong dream of writing a novel. And then this fifth one, fix the squeaky doorknob. The to-do list, when it looks like this one here, the novel one, starts to kind of hang out for a long time. So as you're looking at your to-do list, got the milk, got the eggs, got the shallots, fix the squeaky doorknob, right, I've got to start on my novel to fulfill my lifelong dream. That's a trap with doing things, because those big items, we mentally just can't wrap our heads around exactly what we're supposed to do with the next step. I'm a big getting things done fanatic by David Allen. I highly recommend the book. But that aside, this ties in really well. Just the idea of seeing that list and seeing that item that you're never getting done ties in really well with the idea of overspending in your budget. Just like you can't really trust this list to be a representation of what you're going to be doing today, because are you going to start on the lifelong dream of writing your novel? You haven't defined that well enough to even know. So it's not real. Just as that happens with the normal to-do list, overspending, when you see your list of categories and you see a category in the red, that's like this to-do list item where you're saying, yeah, something needs to happen here, but I'll do that later, right? Or, yeah, in a little bit. You're putting it off. You're procrastinating. You're letting it fester. When we don't correct overspending, then the rest of our category balances are off, because the money was there to overspend, and the category balances that were positive, some of them just subsidized it so that you were able to go over in the one. We had a Whiteboard Wednesday quite a while back where I kind of walked through that math. I didn't want to do it again today, but you could check that one out. But the idea that some categories are subsidizing others if they're overspent, that's absolutely true. And what that means is that your other category balances can't be trusted. You can't rely completely and wholly on the budget because you have that overspending. So I want you to treat those red overspent categories, I want you to treat them like to-do items, but the easy ones like the milk and the eggs, maybe the shallots. And just say, okay, I'm going to take care of this right now. I'm going to get back in the black. I'm going to be back in the green with all of my balances. And I'm going to just take care of these red items. So just as they come up, as you overspend and you need to adjust and follow Rule 3, do that. What you don't want to have happen, this is the final note, what you don't want to have happen is have your budget with so much red in it where you start to feel guilty. You start to feel like the budget isn't working because you're trying to wrangle it to fit some reality that wasn't grounded in reality, and so that's kind of a no-win situation. You can't trust your category balances, as I mentioned, and you're just feeling a little bit demoralized. It's not motivating to see that happen. Just like this item on this to-do list isn't motivating after a while. Maybe you attended some big rah-rah seminar and it's like, follow your dreams, and so you're saying, yes, I'm going to start on that novel, and that was your to-do item, and then 6 months later it's still sitting there. That kind of stuff just causes mental overhead. It's not productive. It's distracting. And the same can be said for your overspending with your budget. It's distracting. Take care of it. Just get right on it. Don't let it fester. Make sure that that budget represents reality as quickly as you can. Close the gap between seeing the reality strike the budget and addressing it by adjusting the budget numbers as needed and staying on track. We'll see you guys next week.